So a lot of folks who live in, relative physical security would like to eliminate their um, defense state system, their fight, flight, freeze, fawn. They're like, I have more existential threats. I don't have physical threat. I'd rather not feel anxiety or depression. Okay? So this is really common. A lot of people want to just get rid of anxiety and depression. However, from a nervous system perspective, anxiety and depression are really, really important. They're coming to rescue you from a threat to your safety. And when there's a lack of physical threat, people can be like, well, the email that is scary from my boss, we got a car coming through, is not dangerous. So I don't want to have anxiety when I get an email from my boss, right? Or they say, it's fine that I'm living in a place that doesn't, that I don't enjoy, and that I'm doing a job that's not important to me, and that I'm unfulfilled. I don't want to feel depressed, right? If we were, and we're increasingly going to be, my impression is we're going to increasingly be experiencing more physical threat and more physical impermanence in our world. For that, we want a nervous system that will come and rescue us from threat with some anxiety or depression, some fight, flight, freeze. That's really awesome when you're in a physical threat situation. If you're in a emergency situation like a fire or a flood or something, you want that fight, flight, freeze to be helping you navigate that. It's only in this sort of like contrived place of the illusion of security and stability that a lot of folks in developed countries are living in, sort of post-industrial, I can pretend everything's safe kind of thing, that you could maybe not want your nervous system to do its job. So basically, what the nervous system is doing, the birds are just so awesome tonight. We had a huge thunderstorm, and now all the birds are like super, having so much to say. It's super fun. So, the nervous system is doing this safety danger equation all the time. That's what Deb Dana calls it. Safety danger equation. When there are more safety cues than danger cues, so you can imagine like a little balancing thing, when the safety cues outweigh the danger cues, then the nervous system goes, oh, okay, let's go to ventral. From a polyvagal perspective, let's go to ventral, and let's go up to there's a little bunny. Hi, little bunny. Hi, sweetie, I don't want to startle you. So it brings us up to ventral, and from ventral we can access our frontal lobe, and change is possible. We can see possibilities, we can see multiple perspectives, we can make change, and that's really helpful, because when the danger cues outweigh the safety cues, danger cues outweigh the safety cues, we are rescued by the fight, flight, freeze from getting into danger, and we're blocked off access from the ventral or the frontal lobe so that we don't make any change. because it's got to keep us safe, right? So it's a beautiful rescuing energy that anxiety and depression is offering us. And, you know, if we're wanting to make a change in our life, it's basically telling us a change is needed here. But we can't make a change from that place. I was going to sit for a minute, but my blessed chair is all wet from the rain. So, you know, we can, it's a two-step process, right? The nervous system calls us with the fight, flight, freeze, or with the anxiety and the depression. And it says, hey, change is needed. Okay, I don't feel safe. I need something to change so that I can feel safe. So then what we do is we're like a 911 call place. You know, we receive the call from the nervous system and we answer and we go, okay, you're kind of not making sense because I can't understand you because you're freaking out. So can you calm down a little bit so I can hear what you're saying? And a lot of us, after we've said, can you calm down a little bit? And then the nervous system goes, okay, we do a little stretching, we do a little breathing, we get an ice pack, a little distress tolerance, and we calm down a little bit. And the nervous system calms down a little bit, and then we, the 911 receiver, we just hang up the phone. And then what has to happen is the nervous system has to call us back, and it's going to be more upset this time. So then we're going to try to calm them down again, and then we're going to hang up the phone, right? That's what a lot of us do. We're like, depression and anxiety, please go away. Shh. Right? But it wasn't calling because it wanted help calming down. It was calling because it wanted help making a change. So we're the EMT, right, receiver person, right? So we go, oh, can you calm down a little bit so you can tell me? And then the next step that most of us don't want to do is, okay, now that you've calmed down, tell me all about it, right? And the tell me all about it is the thing we do in therapy, right? The tell me all about it is the thing we do through self-inquiry. The tell me all about it is learning new perspectives on life and what's important, and mythologies around how to be on a ever-threatening, ever-changing planet, right? The tell me all about it is grief. The tell me all about it is, whoa, that's really scary. And then as we learn more, we can get a little less scared. The tell me all about it is where we make change, right? Because once the nervous system gets a chance to tell us all about it, then we can get the information. Okay, it sounds like, I don't know, what's an example? Like, oh no, I don't know, my basement's flooded. Figure my basement's flooded right now. So my nervous system, on my walk was going, oh, you better get down there and figure out if it's flooded or not. You better clean it up because it's dangerous to be flooded. And I go, yeah, honey. Yeah, tell me all about it. And then my little part says, well, it's bad to have a flooded basement. And by the way, the reason that it's flooded is because you did a bad job picking this house and you didn't do your research right. And so this is your own fault. And I go, yeah, honey, tell me more. And, since you made a mistake, that means you're a bad person. And nobody's going to love you or be proud of you. And I go, okay, honey, tell me more. And then this little part says, and if nobody loves you and nobody's proud of you, then you're going to be sent out into the woods and tortured forever. And I go, yeah, tell me more. And then they go, yeah, and then you might die. And I go, okay, honey, Tell me more. And then they go, well, and then you'd be dead. And as immediately as soon as we get to dead, the other part of me that experienced a near-death experience and that has a mythology around it's okay to die, goes, yeah, okay, well, we can handle that. And we can't get to that moment. And then I just, then the whole basement becomes irrelevant. It's like, could vacuum it out or not tonight. Who cares? When we don't listen to that whole message of what that nervous system is so concerned about, then we don't get to that point of relief where we go, oh, this is not about the basement. This is about whether it's okay to mess up and die alone. And it turns out, according to my mythology that I've cultivated through just finding what works for me in any given moment, sun's going down, so let's see if we can get this in the last few moments of light. My personal mythology allows for that and embraces it and includes my near-death experience and my connection with all sorts of esoteric teachings, and it works for my nervous system. And that's been through a long process. But I give myself the chance to connect to that when I actually keep listening to the phone call, right? If I just said, oh, it's fine, don't worry about the basement, that part would not have their questions answered. What's that sound, I wonder? This sounds like an airplane or a helicopter. Okay, I think that's good for now. I love ya.